Yogi Berra once said, "You've got to be very careful if you don't know where you're going, because you might not get there." Just like in life, your journey through Toastmasters can be a long and winding road if you don't map out your journey. This morning, I'm pleased to present our president, Scott Brown, as he lays out his plan for the Articulator's journey over the next 12 months in his speech entitled, "Through the Forest." Please welcome Mr. Scott Brown.
Where are you going? Do you have a plan? Do you know where you're going? These hot days in summer in Florida beckon to mind the summers I spent in Clarion going to college. I went to college about 6 miles outside of a place called Cook's Forest with the Cooksburg River that happened to flow through Cooksburg, Pennsylvania. They aren't able to come up with many words there, apparently. We would take a canoe out, launch it, sit in the canoe, and just follow the stream down the river, towing behind us a cooler filled with alcoholic beverages to ensure our journey was as pleasant as possible. The stream would take us over rocks. It would take us through little towns. It was cool. You would fall out of the canoe, cool yourself off, go swimming. You just meandered through the river. Let me ask you something, though. As you're meandering, taking you through life also, are you just launching your life in that canoe, flowing down a stream, going wherever it might take you, at the whims of some other force? Or do you have a plan? When you get in that canoe, they give you paddles. There are many things you can do with those paddles. Splash water on the people in front of you. If you're mad at the person behind you, whack them. Fight off snakes. Attack a bear, and don't recommend that. Or you can guide your journey. When I think about those trips, it makes me think about Toastmasters. Let's think about what we have here. We have our own paddles. We are given a competent communication guide and a competent leadership guide. And what can we do with these? Can we roll it up and kill a water bug? Can we shield ourselves from the person talking to us who spits when they talk? Or can we open it and use it for what it's intended for? I'm going through my second CC right now, having already earned my competent communication designation. Because I want to make sure that I'm growing as a communicator. There's also a competent leadership book. And this isn't just about filling roles in an organization. This is about how do you develop as a leader. Nell talked this morning about the responsibility we all have, not just to ourselves, but to those around us, to lead them to become better people. How many of you have read through the book in its entirety? Thank you, Nell. I'm glad I'm not alone.
You had honesty.
Take some time and read through this. There are lessons in here to learn, not just about how do you function as a dinger. How do you No. Why do we have all counters? Why do we have grammarians? Why do we have each of the roles? And many of these things that we have within Toastmasters translate to the outside world. Over the next year, as I serve as your president, I hope to be able to instill 3 things in the club and in each of you. First, a plan. When you walked in this morning, how many of you had a plan to what you wanted to get out of today's meeting? 4, very good. And a half. How many of you had that plan not include breakfast? Okay, good. Half the hands went down that time. When you walk through these doors every week, have a plan to what you're trying to learn. You're investing almost 2 hours of your morning driving here, having breakfast, listening to speakers. And what are you going to take away from that? What are you going to take away and not just hear, but also implement? Have a plan for your life. Who in here has a mission statement for their life?
Wow.
I encourage you to have a mission statement and a vision statement to know who you are, where you're trying to go, and some actions for how you're going to get there. We have the tools to do that through here. Now, as you know, I have a very strong predilection for leadership. Nell talked in depth this morning about what leadership is. And I'll give you my definition. Leaders make leaders. Leaders don't make followers. Leaders make leaders by having a vision, by having a plan, by listening, and by growing. It's a long-term focus. Managers are those that get things done. Leaders are those that figure out what things to do. As you move throughout this next year, I hope that you take the lessons you learned from Toastmasters and apply them not just to your job, but to your life, to your relationships, to how you interact with the world around you. And the third thing I hope to be able to provide to you, pay it forward. Who in your life can benefit from what we learn here at Toastmasters? Who in your life should be here right now? But who in your life do you let meander down their stream? I have an agenda for what I'm trying to do for the next year as your president. It is not a personal agenda. It is an agenda that I hope to pay it forward to all of you. Pardon me. And I hope that at the end of my year, you can look back and say, I am a better person now than what I was before, and I have a plan for where I'm going to go for the rest of my life. Thank you.